Suswagatam. Arjuna gets into a conflict in the opening scenario of the Bhagavad Gita predicted. What the conflict? One side he had the duty sense. As a Kshatriya, he has to wage the war, win the kingdom. Another side, ethical and humanitarian dimensions. Love, compassion, sacrifice, respect. When he sees his own teachers, the greatest of the persons like Bhishma, he gets into a big conflict. Which is better of the two? Duty also is good. Showing love, compassion and respect, everything also is good. Conflict between two good things. What is the result? His mind got completely confused. He could not hold his Gandiva. And he just sat down in his chariot. That is the state in which all of us pass at some time or the other in the path of spiritual progress. And then, if you get the good knowledge, like what Sri Krishna gave to Arjuna, we will be able to overcome all such conflict. Conflict between one duty and another duty, conflict between one ethical norm and another ethical norm, questioning the very basis of yama and niyama, questioning the very basis of duties, questioning what the life is for and the meaning of the life. That state comes when we start purifying our heart with the sattva and start going even beyond. Then as you grow deeper and deeper, then there is going to be a tremendous bliss on one side in the samadhi stage, and the fear. This is what happens to Arjuna when he sees that Vishwarupa Darshana. That is the state of samadhi or Svagana Sakshatkara in Bhakti Yoga. Tremendous amount of bliss, ananda, one side. And then the bhaya or the fear. The fear is necessary to smash all the negative things. Otherwise, the asuri sampati is going to come up. It is going to engross us. So we must have the fear. This is what Krishna tells through this Vishwarupa Darshana. Arjuna is trembling in his heart. He is full of inner fear. And that fear helps him to grow. And what is the result of this dual aspect? The fear and the bliss. Both these things. Daivi Sampat leading to bliss. Asuri Sampat is going to devastate you. Be careful. And it is going to get burnt up. That is that. So, when he gets the Sakshatkara, then what is the result of that? He goes into the Sarvatma Prema. As Swami Vivekananda said, it is the universal love. The universal love that comes up continuously, leading to Nirguna Sakshatkara. Everywhere he starts seeing the same divinity. He sees God everywhere, whether in the child or in the adult or in the grown-up people. Everywhere he starts seeing the same divinity. He starts seeing the same reality. Starts seeing that God everywhere. And that is the Sarvatma Prema, universal universal brotherhood. Swami Vivekananda in Parliament of Religions preached this universal brotherhood. What is the real purpose of any religion? All religions essentially are meant to bring in that divinity within us, bring in the Daivi Sampat within us, to see that we grow nicely. And that is the thing that has been talked about. Therefore, you start seeing everywhere the dimensions of the innate divinity. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Nashocati na kankshati Samas sarveshu bhuteshu Madbhaktim labhate param. You get to Parabhakti. From Savan Sakshatkara to Parabhakti. What is that? Parabhakti? Brahma Bhutaha, Prasannatma, all the time in that blissful awareness, all the time happy inside, tuned to that Anandamaya Kosha inside. And how does this happen? By tuning ourselves to that Brahmi Sthiti, Brahma Bhutaha. Brahma Bhutaha means he essentially is attuned to his inner self. As it's told, Yogastaha Kuru Karmani, attuned to self, you do the action. Similarly in Bhakti, all the time you are tuned to that inner reality. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa all the time with that Kali Bhava, all the time happy, Prasanna Atma, Nashochati na Kamshati. Neither does he aspire, desire, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. That desire has gone away from him. Because he is all the time in that wonderful blissful awareness. Nashochati. Neither he grieves, oh I didn't get that, I am miserable. I did not have this, therefore I am very unhappy. That unhappiness goes away, the miserableness goes away, and he is in the state all the time in that Ananda. And what is his behavioral pattern? Sarveshu Bhuteshu Samaha. Everywhere he sees the same divinity. Even in the worst of the murderers or worst of the people, he goes on seeing the same divinity. But for it, he could not have been able to convert Girish Babu into the greatest of the Bhakta. Girish Babu was the greatest drunkard, but not. And Shunitaiva Shupakecha Panditaha Samadarshinaha, as it said in Gnana Yoga, that in all people you start seeing the divinity. This is the one that we have to start practicing. Can you see divinity in everybody? Can you start appreciating that divinity in everyone? Seeing the divine virtues in everyone? When he starts doing that, then Parabhaktim Prapyate. Then he gets the Parabhakti. So from Sabda Sakshatkara, he goes into Parabhakti. Then what is going to happen? Sarva dharman parityajya Mamekam sharanam vraja Aham swam sarva papebhyah Mokshayishyami ma shuchah. So, here, what is the meaning of this thing? Sarva dharman parityajya. You leave away all other dharmas and mam ekam sharanam vraja, leaving all other thoughts, leaving all other distractions, single-minded devotion. That is the one that leads us to moksha. Sarva papebhya mokshayishyami. All the papas will get burnt away and doing this. And here is the difference between fanaticism and one-pointed devotion. What is the difference? In fanaticism, you think that you alone are correct, all others are wrong. Therefore, you hate others. Whereas in one-pointed devotion, others are also correct, others also may be right, and I don't say that they are all wrong, but I have chosen this particular path, therefore I am going to put all my mind and efforts in doing this particular path. Sarva dharman parityajya. Because the chanchalata has to be removed. If you want to reach the highest stage, the mind should be completely absorbed in that. Kadima, 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 Kadima. Continuously Ramakrishna was absorbed in that. Therefore, it is very necessary to put full focus on only one direction that we have taken. No distraction. Moving from one to another is not allowed. You know that famous story of a fanatic Vishnu Bhakta. He was totally devoted to Vishnu. But he was so fanatic that he will not think of anybody else. And not only he doesn't think of anything, he is to hate Shiva. And all the Shiva Bhaktas are a taboo for him. So, but he was very devoted. Early morning he will come and do the puja in the temple and then totally devoted and helps us, serves everybody who is a devotee of Lord Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu thought, such a wonderful devotee I have, that fanaticism has to be removed from him. And therefore, that morning when he comes, he finds that half the Vishnu's picture completely is Vishnu, another half is Shiva. Giving the message, Shiva and Vishnu are not two different things. Then what is the response of this fellow, fanatic? He says, you Shiva, you Rudra, you dirty fellow, you have come here. Oh, I am going to give only dhupa, only unto Vishnu. And dinner Mangalati only to Vishnu. This is the difference between fanaticism and one-pointed devotion that Krishna is talking. So when he says Sarva dharman parityajya, it doesn't mean that you hate others. And that's the difference between fanaticism and this thing. In Christianity, Christ is the God. What is the difference between Christianity and Hinduism? Hinduism says Christ is a God. And we have all the gods and gods. Christ also is a God. We accept everything. This is what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa realized. And when this is going to happen, that you completely focus on one thing and do this, sometimes they may get into fanaticism. Our Totapari was a great Advaita sadhaka. He was in the path of Jnana Yoga. He achieved great heights of Jnana. But he had scant respect for Bhakti. And a stage has come for him for a transformation. And Sri Ramakrishna had completed his entire set of practices in the Tantra Shastra by Bhairavi Brahmani. 64 Vidyas he had learned. And Bhairavi Brahmani called the big conference in which all the top experts had come, and she explained how wonderfully Gadadhara has achieved great heights in the path of bhakti and in all the bhavas, Veera Bhava, Pushpa Bhava, and all the Panchamahabhavas, everything he mastered, and she described. So everybody got convinced that Gadadhara was not a lunatic who was just sitting on trees and then mixing with the women. All this thing went away, and he was raised to be one of the greatest of the bhaktas of the times. Then comes the Totapari. And since he had scant respect for bhakti, he starts telling, you see, what you have done all these years is all waste of time. Why? The path of bhakti is not correct. And you got the sakshatkar of Sri Rama. He went on doing Kali, 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 Kali. Your entire mind completely got engrossed in Kali, and he got hypnotized with Kali, and you start seeing Kali everywhere. Therefore, this Sakshatkara is nothing but concoction of your mind. It's only imagination of your mind, and there is nothing to do with spirituality. Spirituality is different, Adhyatma is different, and that, as the Upanishads tell us, this cannot be seen. What is that cannot be? Yato vacho nivattante aprapyavanasa saha. The mind cannot reach that. What about eyes? Shrotrasya shrotram chakshu chakshuhu. It is said in the Kenopanishad that it is the eye for the eyes, it is ear for the ears, the mind of the minds, the buddhi of the buddhi. And therefore, what you are seeing only is a construct of your mind. It is a construct of your intellect and nothing to do with spirituality. You have to go beyond the mind. You have to go beyond the intellect. You have to go to the source from where your buddhi, manas, chitta, kara, everything comes out. Therefore, oh, what a shame. You have wasted your time for all these decades. Then Gadadhara, being extremely scientific, extremely brilliant, then he sees a lot of logic in what Totapari is telling. And he is quoting from the Upanishads everywhere. Therefore, he gets confused. So, what the response? Immediately he goes to Mother Kali. Ma, please tell me whether I am wrong. Have I wasted all my decades in your worship? What I am seeing you, is it not a reality? Is it my own construct of my mind? Is it my own imagination? Please tell me, please tell me. Then again Kali Ma comes and blesses him. Don't worry, you will understand everything. Please go and follow the path of Totapari. So that's how he comes into the realm of Advaita. And Totapari is very happy that he has got one of the best of the disciples. Earlier, when he went over different bhaktas and told about these things, they smashed him and threw him out. But here is the greatest of the Tantric Vaishnavas, greatest of the bhaktas of the time, becoming his devotee, his student. So he is very, very happy, and he starts his teaching. And what does he do? He prepares a small hutment and says, okay, you sit here, and what is to be done? He initiates him into the path of Advaita. And he says that sitting here, go on removing all thoughts from your mind. Because you have to go beyond the mind. You have to go to the very source from where all thoughts arise. Therefore, no thoughts at all. No Rama, no Krishna, no Kali, nothing. Anything that comes, you just throw it out and go into that state of silence. Nirvikalpa. It should be beyond the vikalpa, beyond the thoughts. Then Ramakrishna sits there, and then all distractions go away. But now the Kali comes. Again Kali comes in his wonderful, blissful presence, and Ramakrishna prays, "Oh Mother Kali, please go away, because this is the injunction of my Guru now. You have permitted me to take Totapari as your Guru. So he is telling that he had to remove. So please go away, please go away, please go away." But Kali comes back again and again, again and again. She is not going away. Then Ramakrishna could not stay there, and then he just comes out. And Totapari, what is happening? Kali Ma is coming again, again, again. No, I cannot sit without doing that. Totapari sees inside, yes, your decades of your sadhana, your mind is totally engrossed with Kali Ma. How long it takes, maybe decades it may take for you to overcome that. But outside he gives clear direction. See, now you are my student, you are my devotee, and you have no choice. You have to throw. She Kali Ma comes, cut her to pieces and throw her out. Have no mercy whatsoever. Don't pray that you go away, go away. It will not happen. So you have to be very curt and then cut it or burn it and throw it away. That is my injunction. No more. Come on, sit here. He takes a small thing and then presses here. A drop of blood comes. You put all your focus here, and if Mother Kali comes, mercilessly you kill her, cut her and then throw her to pieces. No more of your respect and shraddha, everything, that is gone. Then he sits here, concentrates on this, and when Mother Kali comes, he just salutes, and Mother Kali, please give me permission to cut you out, to burn you out. You have your permission, and this is the injunction of my Guru, and therefore I have to do that. Please, please. With all humility he says, and then cuts Mother Kali, throws, and he is in that silence now. 10 minutes over, Totapuri was expecting again he is going to come back, half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, whole day he is sitting there, and Totapuri is bewildered. How this is happening? How this is happening? Decades of his sadhana, he is able to overcome. Whole day, the next day he is sitting, and Totapuri realized he has gone into the deep Advaita Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and sitting there, deeper and deeper things. 2 days over, 3 days, if it is over, 3 complete days, then probably he will not come back to life. Therefore, Totapuri says it's time that I have to wake him up. Otherwise, he will be lost to the world. His body will fall, and that is the end of the story. Therefore, he calls from there. Now, Ramakrishna, please come out. This is enough, you come out. No response from inside. Then he goes and blows the conch near, and no response. He is trying to hold his thing and then trying to shake him up. Come on, get up, and trying to push him up. No response. So he thinks whether he is already dead. Then he knew all the inner secrets, and he goes and finds out whether there is any prana shesha, is there any small bit of life at all, and he touches all those marmasthanas, then he finds yes, there is a small prana spanda which is there. And as a master of masters, he amplifies that small prana spanda, and Ramakrishna is going to come out slowly. It took almost 15 days for Ramakrishna to come back to the normal consciousness. He had gone into such great depth, and Totapuri is completely bewildered, surprised, mesmerized as to how can this happen? How can this happen? Then he realizes that bhakti also can be a part. Bhakti purifies to such an extent that may reach that. Therefore, Ramakrishna realized that all paths of bhakti ultimately lead to that same goal, that is the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And the other question is still unresolved for Ramakrishna. Is bhakti just an imagination? Is it a concoction of the mind? Or is there something else? Is the question that he had. And how he solved that, we will see tomorrow. Sits right, eyes closed,